Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's Tiff TV. Still trying to figure out what in the world is going on with doing stuff in these videos. But in the meantime, I think I'm gonna start doing, like, for me mostly, how I'm doing my makeup. And I've been trying a lot of new looks. You guys probably noticed I'm having a really bad makeup day today, by the way. I was watching some videos from back in the day and my makeup looks like on point, and I tried to do that again today and I seriously have no idea what I did. Like, I don't know what I was doing to make it look so good. And so I think every once in a while, at least while I'm trying all these new looks, I'm going to do some videos of like what products I'm using and how I'm using them, so I can always go back there if I want to. Today is not going to be one of those days because I don't want to come back here. I don't want to come back here. But yeah, all right. Let's do this. Let's do it. Let's do it. Sometimes it's hard for me to get comfortable with talking to myself, but I realize that I'm talking to you all, and I'm talking to Jose, who is my trusty editor. Jose is literally like family. Thank you, Jose. What up? All right, here we go. Today I'm going to talk about the importance of commands. Now, commands are very interesting to me, and the first time I realized or learned about commands was in Spanish class. Jose, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? Dígame. That's what you're saying. I know that's what you're saying. Dígame. That's like one of my favorite commands. Ven aquí. Alright, we got the Spanish going here. I'm sure Jose will throw in some more. Yeah. Dígame. Dígame, dígame, dígame. Dígame, dígame. Dígame. That's my favorite command, no joke. So, what does that mean? A command is not a... This is why my first introduction to commands was in Spanish. Because the Spanish language uses commands regularly. It's like a form of speech. We're only taught commands by, like, our parents. They're like, do the dishes, or go clean your room, or help me bring in groceries, but they're not really like commands like they are in Spanish. Spanish commands are like very direct. It's almost like there are no other options. There's one single road, and I didn't know why I liked commands back in the day. I started learning Spanish when I was in 6th grade. How old are you in 6th grade? 11? 12? I was probably 10. I'm young for my age, alright? Alright? Those kids who are like December babies and got not held back, but like they're December babies and old for their age because they were in like the other class. Like, nah, that was not me. I was like way young for my age. That's probably why I matured so quickly, huh? Alright, anyways, commands. I didn't know why they were so important or intriguing when I was younger and when I was learning Spanish at the ripe age of 11. It really should have been like 1, but we won't talk about that. Commands just captured me. I think because that's what they do. Do you command people in your life? Probably not. If you're commanding, you're most likely demanding. A command comes from a place, like a solid place of inside of you. And a demand comes from like a very childish place. Like, stop teasing me, or I don't know, yeah. Can't you feel the energetic difference between a demand and a command? A demand is like you're trying to be like that ruling force over people, that emperor, that boss who doesn't quite have a grip on things, who needs to control other people in order to feel comfortable. And a command is just like, you know that it'll be. It's like comes from like more of a place of like solidness and knowing. So if you guys want to maybe close your eyes, bring your awareness to like the center of your chest, and then say to yourself and ask where your awareness is. So I'm my awareness, where am I? There's a spiritual teacher who does this. And so then, once you figure out where that is, command it by saying, I'm now in the center of my chest, or I'm now in my heart center. So it's like, go to your heart center. Then kind of like let that go. I don't know. Your awareness goes somewhere else. Maybe this isn't a great exercise because I don't really have a solid exercise for that, but I'm going to develop an exercise so everybody can feel the difference between a demand and a command. I'm going to write it down right now so I do it. Okay? But in the meantime, know that there's a difference. And commands are important in a lot of different settings. Spanish, for instance, spirituality, law of attraction, delegating. Along the spiritual realm, these are the types of things that help. Affirmations are a command. Gratitude is a command. Grounding, take me higher, like take me above. You ever feel like you're swimming in a pool of nasty feelings? You can command your attention to be brought above that. In visualization, practicing that, the command becomes knowing. I'm gonna bring Carlos Castaneda into this. Carlos Castaneda, for those who don't know, is a anthropologist, but he kind of got taken under the wing of a Mexican dude who practiced an old shamanistic way of being. The Spanish culture and the Indians down there, Aztecs, the Mayans. Before the Aztecs and the Mayans, actually, there were Toltecs. And Toltecs practiced a certain type of had a certain spiritual practice. And sometime in the 1960s and the 1970s, Carlos Castaneda went down to Mexico to find this old dude, his name is Don Juan, who practiced the old Toltec ways of being. And so Don Juan kind of took him under his wing and taught him all of the old ways, but also within this finding, he found out that there were new ways of practicing that spirituality. And so Carlos Castaneda actually, through this process, became a Toltec almost, but the new version. And through his books, he teaches. One of his books is The Eagle something, The Fire from Within, okay? The Fire from Within is a book about mastery of awareness, and it's said that the eagle is like and this is the way that Carlos Castaneda and Don Juan explain it, but there's like there's other things in spirituality that explain it a different way. But the eagle is like an observer of things, and part of the eagle is within us, observing this life that we live in here on the planet Earth. Now, other people describe that as God, and other people describe that as, I've heard it described as a GoPro video camera. Part of that, like, there's like a GoPro, and obviously, like, I'm looking at a camera right now, but there's also like a camera inside of me that's coming from, like, you know, a higher being, and it's just observing this life that we live here. But what commands do is the more that you command your life, your things around you, that's law of attraction, mind you, and affirmations. Commanding is a practice. And according to the Toltecs or Carlos Castaneda, the more that you command this world or your thoughts or the things around you, the more that your command becomes aligned with God's command or with the eagle's command. And when those two things align, then you're able to kind of actually gain a little bit of control over what's going on in this world. Now, the law of attraction teaches you that as a practice. So the benefit in being able to command your attention and your focus and what's going on around you is because you align things that are outside of your patterned habit or conditioning. So if I look at a white wall every day and I choose to look at the white wall every single day and I don't change, then I will only know a white wall. But if I peel myself away from the white wall, even just a little bit, for a little moment every single day, I will start seeing different colors. I'll see a different wall, or I'll see things that I don't even know that are possible to see. But if I just stay looking at that white wall, and that white wall to you might be, this goes along with breaking habits and trying new things and doing things that are outside of your comfort zone, okay? So it can be anything. If you try something new, if you try something that's like a little scary, a little outside of your comfort zone, a little outside of your pattern, if you try on a thought that is different from a thought that you've thought in your entire life, then an entire new world of things will open up to you. That's what I'm talking about. That's that white wall. Things that you can't even imagine because you're so used to. That's why it's so important to change your thought patterns and to change your apps in a position on your phone and to change the way you dress, or to change the way you do your makeup, or to try a new nail color. Like, all these things seem so dumb and so minute, but it really does make a difference in life because it makes you align different things that weren't aligned before. Because without your attention, without your focus on the thing that you're used to, you zero in on that. Like, it's tunnel vision is what it is. You just like zero in on it, and that's the only thing you see. If you're used to seeing sadness, if you're used to thinking sad thoughts, then what happens? You get into depression. You have to form new neural pathways. You have to, because that opens your world, and it gives you choice. So that's the alignment of new things creates new worlds. Eventually, when your command equals the eagle's command or God's, then you're able to, on command, experience and choose new things. So to me, the law of attraction is a type of practice of that. Affirmations are a type of practice of that. Gratitude is a type of practice to that. Because this world that we're born into, we're not used to being happy and thankful and positive. Most people are on the negative side of things. They're used to seeing things as, they're used to having a negative outlook. They're used to having a glass half empty. They're used to thinking about new experiences in a way that's scary. All negative. How many times does your brain automatically go to the negative? When you meet somebody new and they're nice, do you think they're trying to get something from you? Or do you think, oh wow, what a nice person? So for those of you who think the law of attraction and affirmations and gratitude are all some dumb, stupid hoax, here's a new way of looking at it. Look at it as a skill. You're building a skill, you're building a muscle. And the muscle you're building is a command. But the thing about law of attraction, affirmations, and gratitude is it does two things that I can see right now that just came to me. One is it trains your mind to look at new things. So it's already commanding new worlds because it's retraining your brain. It's creating new neural pathways, we'll say that, for those of you who do not like spirituality. And it's also training you to command your attention and your focus. It's good to practice these things. And if you're the kind of person that's like, wow, it's really dumb, I don't want to practice gratitude, or I am a grateful person, like really get into the details of what gratitude is. It's looking at things with a glass half full perspective rather than a glass half empty. You have probably been looking at your entire life, entire situations, every single thing as a glass half empty perspective. But when you start to practice gratitude, you look at the bright side of things. That doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that the dark side goes away. It just means that you're training your perception. You're training yourself to start going towards a different direction. And then and only then does a new world open up to you. That's the importance. It's a skill. It's a building muscle. I cannot stress that enough. So many people say that all this spiritual stuff is bullshit. I've gone down the spiritual road, like, very deep. I'm a very practical, logical, rational person. And I had, not to mention, skeptical. Okay? But for some reason, I couldn't help but try all of these things. You know why? Because I wanted my life to change. I didn't want to be on the same path that I was on. And so at that point, I decided that I would try anything. I tried everything. And there's still more to try. What I learned is not to put your entire existence into it. It's not going to solve all of your problems. A lot of people say that it's going to. You know, somebody who's abusing you, and you just, train your brain to look at the things that you like about them, and all of a sudden that's all you can see. That's not going to solve the problem, but it does train you to look at things in a different way. And because of that, new things come into it literally opens you up so you can experience something that you actually want to experience rather than something you feel like you're stuck in. So it's not like a one pill cure. It's not a band-aid. It's just a skill. It's just a muscle. And there are many, many, many skills that you need in this world, in this lifetime, to succeed. And that's just one of them. But you have to start somewhere. And anyways, just got off on a tangent. But here's another reason why I love commands. Commands in the real world, like in this world that we live in, we're like half spiritual, we're half human. And a lot of us only acknowledge this human part in us because it's the one that we can see with our eyes, even though our seeing with our eyes is how we've trained our eyes to see. We've used that, but if you take away the eyes, you start seeing in different ways. So even know that this physical body, the way that we feel, the way that we touch, the way that we sense, the way that we view things, has all been a form of training, and that there are other ways to do it. In this world that we live in, the physical world, being able to delegate and tell somebody to do something is a skill. Affirmations, gratitude, law of attraction all help with being able to do that. Do you have a hard time delegating? I used to. Part of that was because I didn't really even know what I was supposed to be doing or what needed to be done. And the other part was that I wanted to do everything myself. But once you start practicing commands, it trains your muscle for other things. And one of those other things is delegating. Delegating work, delegating tasks, knowing what needs to be done. So to me, these are all like practice. And whenever I learn something spiritual, I can bring it into the physical world. But I also know that at this point, I've learned so many different skills that the next thing that I'm going to learn isn't going to be the is-all, end-all. A lot of us think that there's like, if we do this one thing, then it'll solve all of our problems. Or if we do this one thing, then we won't have to do something else. But we need to get over that. There will never be an end. And whatever new thing that you learn is just a stepping stone. It's a training wheel. It's a block for the next thing that you're going to learn. And that next thing that you learn is a building block for the next thing that you learn. That's what all of these skills are. That's what made me realize, actually I realized this when I started gratitude practice. Because gratitude is just a building block for, I don't remember. I really don't remember right now. I wrote a blog post about it a little while back that we'll link to. But anyways, that's a video for today. I think I'm donezo here. I still have an hour before my next event, and I don't know, maybe I have to do one warm-up round before I do an actual video because that really just got me going. Anyways, I'm gonna go fix my lipstick now, and then I'm gonna go to an event. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to comment, question below, thumbs up, ring the bell so you get notified when we have new videos out. Don't forget to check us out. Oh shoot, I really wanted to do this as a Facebook Live. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook. Posh Incredible. And don't forget to check out Posh Incredible Transformations podcast. That's where I do a Friday daily download and some other things, and also obviously interviews. I love to interview people who've made changes in their lives and transformations, and see how they did that and what the results were. So it's now raining in cold ass Melbourne, and I need to go. So anyways, thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you guys later. See you guys.